Hello and welcome to the demo side of how to configure security in organization-wide defaults. This is going to be a very quick video. We're going to be going over organization-wide defaults and sharing rules. As we know, we've gone over the PowerPoint before, organization-wide defaults restrict access. If you want to grant access, there's these options available for you. There's sharing rules, which we're going to discuss in the demo, role hierarchy, sales teams and account teams, and manual sharing. Now, there's 4 levels of access: public read, write, and transfer, which is only available for leads and cases. There's public read-write, public read-only, and private. But what I'd like to do today is I'd like you to think of this in 2 ways. Remember that first PowerPoint that we had where it was basically, is this going to be an open model or a closed model? So let's think of it in 2. Instead of taking 4 and thinking of it in 4 ways, just think of it in those 2 areas. Is it going to be a public, open model, or is it going to be a private, closed model? And I think that'll help us get through a lot of this organization-wide defaults and without it getting too confusing. So let's jump into the Salesforce instance. I like to start everything with a setup. And then if we look on our left-hand side here, we have our system overview index. Let's go down to personal setup, app setup. What we're doing is we're going to go down to administration setup because this is part of the organization-wide default security settings. And we're going to go down to security controls and open that up. And it's our first selection, sharing settings, and that's going to open up our organization-wide defaults. Now, under organization-wide defaults, as we had mentioned before, we have all our objects here. And it's not just the standard objects like leads, accounts, and opportunities and cases, but they're also all the custom objects that we've built in here as well. So that's what's great about this. It's all the records you can access here through the organization-wide defaults. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of different options here. I've got locked most of this down, but there's something here called controlled by parent. You'll see this in a few areas with activity, with contact, AP task, APT task. What I want you to think about is that contact is the child of account. Activity is the child of an opportunity. And that's really all they're talking about. If it's controlled by parent, you have that option. So whatever the parent's access is, the child takes on that access. So let's go to edit. I want to walk through this very quickly and make it as simple as possible. As we mentioned, there's 4 options. There's the lead and cases are the only 2 that allow you to transfer. So if you click on this default access, you can make the default access public read-write transfer for leads and public read-write transfer for cases. But everything else is private, public read-only, and public read-write. But again, let's go back to what we were thinking about before and making it very simple. You're dealing with either a closed or an open system. Is it private or is it public? So with those 2 ideas, let's move forward. If I was to lock down everything, which I have here, if you notice, I've locked down everything to private. So I'm starting with a closed system or private system for everything. No access, everything's private, and the control by parent is controlled by the parent. So these are private as well. Now, if I am running on a private model, I have to start opening it up, and the only way to open it up is with my sharing settings. So those are located down in the related lists below. So the top up here, the organization-wide default, is restricting the access. So to start opening up, I'm going to go and choose my sharing model, or my sharing rules. So let's do a sharing rule. Let's just a case scenario. If I am an international manager, and my North American manager wants to use my sales engineer. Let's say the international team has a sales engineer. Well, the North American team has to allow access to his accounts or her accounts. So that person needs to set up an account sharing rule for the North American team. So let's do that. Let's take that scenario. So we're going to go new under account sharing rule. I'm just going to call this test for now. It's based on the record owner. And then it's asking you in step 3, select which records to share. Well, what I want to do is it's account owned by members of, and I have to select who that is. I don't want to do roles. I want to do role and subordinates because I'm choosing the manager, and also I want all of the subordinates of the manager to be able to, for the sales engineer to be able to access those accounts to help. And this, remember, this is to assist in the sales teams. If you have sales teams that need a sales engineer to assist it to close those deals, they're more technical, great way to do this. I'm going to choose roles and subordinates, and as we discussed before, it's the North American sales team, and I want to choose a role, not a role in subordinates, but a role because we're just choosing the sales engineer, and I need to look for a sales engineer, sales engineer, sales engineer. There we go, sales engineer. Now, here's another, and when you get to step 5, you get to select the level of access for users. So do I want him changing the opportunity access and closing deals? No, that's for the record owner. That's for the sales account manager or for the manager. That's for North American team. I just want him to be able to view these opportunities, cases, and accounts. So I'm going to put read only, keep these as read only, not private, and read only. If I wanted him to go in there and take over for the sales team or to assist in closing these deals, I would probably give him the opportunity access of read write, where he would be able to edit. But I don't. So I want this read only because I just want him to assist the sales with his expertise and his training and his technical knowledge. And I'm going to save that. And that's our sharing role. It's really that simple. Now, I discuss sharing teams as well in the next video, so look down at the videos and check out sharing teams. But remember, these are all around 5 minutes. They're straight to the point. They get you where you need to go, and hopefully this has provided some value. Thanks so much.